they'll do a lot. They'll fix cars or whatever they like the most. They'll do. And that's because they like it so much. There's a movie called, now it is a romance movie, but it's also a really good movie on the subject of autism. It's called Adam. You might know the actor from Hannibal, but it's really good. There's no really bad sex scenes in it. There's no bad stuff like that, and it's just a normal. You can show it to almost anyone. And we Adam. I loved it. I loved it a lot. My parents loved it a lot. You can also show. There is a show called Atypical. That's an autism show. It's really good. They also have an autism musical on HBO, and they have it at the library also, so you can check that out at the library. I also like. There's a lot of other shows out there that are really good with autism. There's a lot of documentaries. There's a lot of stuff. But what we also do, there's also the Sherry Temple, whatever her name is, with autism. But when you like something, you're gonna do it more and more. And autism people like something, they're gonna obsess over it. We're obsessed with it. They're gonna watch movies. They're gonna do everything. And so if you can get them to do what they love the best, which they like animals, you can go have them do a zookeeper. They'll go to school to be zookeeper, and they'll do a great job. They'll get all A's because they like zookeeping. Now, if they go to school to be a car person, but they like animals, they're not going to learn at all. They're not going to like it. They're not going to do anything like that because they're basically, they like animals. So get them what they like to do. The more they are in what they love, the more they're going to have less sexual loads. They're going to love the thing they do. They're going to teach people. They're going to outsmart people because in their area. So, this is my video, What is Autism? And there's more about autism than we know. But this is what I take in what's autism. And when I'm strapped into my big hug, what you don't understand is that after a while you get this weird feeling, you fall asleep, and then you can't even feel the straps on you anymore because you're so calm. And when you're so calm, that's like the best feeling to anyone. So I would check out the Autism Musical. I'd check out Sherry Temple's, not Sherry Temple, the autism expert. She had a documentary on HBO. It's really good. But yeah, this is Ryan Kramer's What is Autism video. So today we're going to do a video on what is autism. And then we're going to do a video on what is ADHD, and then we're going to keep going. So we have some people that get diagnosed with autism when they get older. Like I know a guy that got diagnosed when he was, in his 30s or 40s. But every two autism people are different. And I have some people that if they were diagnosed, they would not like it. And who doesn't want to be part of a culture that made Ghostbusters? The creator of Ghostbusters is autistic. It has autism. So you say autism is bad and autism is horrible, and yeah, that's a horrible disability. You're calling Ghostbusters the movie horrible. And guess what? Everyone today knows what Ghostbuster is. So we get into these things, and I think when I think about autism, I will go and ask a question to someone, or I will go and say, I will go and ask a question about something, and the person next to me will say, "That's inappropriate. You can't say that right at work." And I made kids characters as a S joke, as a sex joke, and you mean, and I didn't even say the word, but they knew what I was talking about, and they said that's inappropriate. But people with autism don't know what that is, don't really know what inappropriate is. They've heard it before, they've heard it tons of times in their lifetime. But do we really know what that is? No. There's a great movie called The Beautiful Mind. And in that movie, it's played by Russell Crowe. And through the whole movie, I know this is getting off topic, and I know this is schizophrenia. He has schizophrenia. But in that movie, you don't know that his imaginary friends are imaginary until the last minute of the movie, because they look real. So why I bring that up is when an autism kid is saying something and you know they have autism, teach them why it's inappropriate. But they might forget later on. Because for me, I say a lot of stuff all day long. Okay? And my friend, who comes over every once in a while, he keeps telling me, "Oh, Ryan, you said that already. You said that already." And I'm like, "Okay, that's great. Thanks for letting me know." I don't know what I'll say to everyone because I say it so much during the day. So when we think about autism, we think about we can't know how to socialize very good. We don't know how to socialize very good because we don't know what socialization is. I'm a very good talker, and I love to talk, and I love to bring stuff up, and I love to watch movies, and I love to talk about the movies, and I love to do these things. But at the end of the day, when we think about what is autism, is not just autism people have problems with this. Everyone has problems with this, but to autism people, we try our best not to say something inappropriate. We try our best not to do something like that. And I was taught by one of my helpers, Mary, that owns her own place in town here. But she taught me that a lot of people with autism also have OCD and also have bipolar and stuff like that. So when we think about autism, we think about, oh yes, they have trouble with emotions and stuff. I can tell someone when they're crying. I can tell someone when they're mad, but sometimes I get it wrong. So if you know someone who has autism, another TV show that really represents good with autism is Atypical. It's a really smart, inappropriate movie that talks about sex and blah blah blah. But what we do know is that is a really good Asperger's. And they don't even say Asperger's anymore. They say high functioning autism. And if someone comes up to you and says, "How are you feeling today?" They're going to ask that question. Also, with autism, we like to be tight. Meaning, I have a big hug that shrouds me in, and I like to be tight. And also, when someone with autism has a sensory overload, to calm them down, everyone has their own way to calm down. Me is kind of music and going with a big hug and but when I'm at work, I can't do that. So I try to talk. Because the more I talk it out, the more I get relaxed. And a sensory overload is kind of like someone with a migraine. You know what I mean? You're sensitive with light. You can't talk to people. You're so out of it. But sensory overload can happen to anyone. But it happens mostly when sounds are too loud. Popping a balloon can cause it. You know, talking high pitch can cause it. You know, having lots of lights going in and out can cause it. You know, a lot of stuff going in at once. Now, if an autism person has a lot of information processing at once, they shut down and they have a sensory overload. So you want to give someone with autism a little bit at a time, not something all at once. And that's why going to school is kind of overwhelming. When I was going to school, I understood what the teacher was saying, but it's really hard to do those lessons and stuff because they are, it's really hard to do it because you're putting so much information once during the day. And then we also ask what is autism, and we say, people with these tics where they have flopping arms or that stuff. It happens to most autism people. They have their own tics, they have their own problems, but they also have it because they're trying to get it out. Because when I have those tics, it's because my body is giving a signal of like weird feeling. It's weird feeling. And some autism people I see have it a lot more than others. And medicine can also help with this. But when you have this weird feeling, you have to get it out. So you have to shake your hand, or you have to rub your hands back and forth. You have to do whatever you can. Tap on your side. It gets the weird feeling out. I can't really explain other than that. It's just a weird feeling with your limbs, and you just have to get it out. And then we also ask, what is autism? And we say, autism is something is that they're going to need help to know who their people are, who they trust in the world. Because autism people don't know exactly what they trust and who they trust. They just trust. And last thing with autism is they do the same thing over and over again. They're doing a routine. Everyone else has routines in the world, but autism especially do the same thing over and over again. And they also like to eat the same thing over and over again. So it's nice to put something in there. And once they try it, they're going to want to try it more and more. They like it. Also, what autism likes the most is what they tell. Some people are zookeepers. Some people are doctors. Some people are all different types of people in the world have autism. And what they like the most is what they do. Some people fix cars for a living because they love cars so much. And that's why they, will do it. Whatever autism likes,